Welcome back on the mat. We'll start in a nice upright seated position. If you don't like to sit on the shins or back onto the heels, then you can take a normal cross-legged seated position. Alternatively, sitting up nice and tall. As you get into this position, slightly draw navel to spine. Push your sit bones down into the floor, in this case into your heels, and close your eyes. As you become aware of your breathing pattern, slow it down. You don't want to force as you slow down the breathing. Don't take it too deep, too fast. Same goes for the yoga postures. You don't want to force. You want to work hard on the mat, but not overdo it. Ujjayi breathing is always an effective means to not just have a stronger breath that generates body heat, but it also acts as a reminder that the breath comes first. So it's more difficult to forget about your breathing when you do that audible sound. So you can start with your Ujjayi. And slowly opening your eyes. So simply continuing with the Ujjayi throughout the practice. We'll shift a bit of weight back. So as you lean back, you'll feel that you get into the ankles. If the knees struggle to lift off the mat because of ankle flexibility or perhaps quads, then you won't lift up. You'll just lean back a little bit and feel where there's tightness and restriction. Otherwise, just hold this position for a little while. You could even turn it into a bit of a balancing posture by resting hands onto your thighs. Just lengthen your back, simply just balancing on the tops of the feet. And slowly bring it back down. Tuck your toes, sit back onto the heels. So now the opposite training effect or stretch on the feet. Inhale, take both arms up, interlace your fingers, lock at the elbow joints and pull your shoulders quite close to ears. Notice how when you reach up to ceiling, as if you're reaching for something, that you don't really create tension in your shoulders or neck. It's more of a natural movement. Exhale, bring the arms down. Just take it up one more time and think about what I said there. So you simply just reach up, grip, and pull your arms up. Now we can intensify by actively working the arms slightly further back. So now we're stretching into the shoulders, but simply taking arms up should be quite relaxing. Now you take it back. The tendency might be for the back to arch, and that's maybe got to do with lat flexibility, but tilt your pelvis slightly and actively pull back. Exhale, bring your arms down. And now we'll make our way to all fours. And in the all fours position, spread your fingers, tuck your toes, make your way into a downward facing dog. So in the down dog, we've got arms straight, flat back, feet hip distance. You can't see the inner heels because you sort of hide the heels behind the big toes. And if you need to bend into the knees, you do so. But find a downward facing dog that you would be able to hold for a while. Now, something to think about in this down dog. Activate the muscles that you need to activate in order to maintain the shape, but also relax where possible. What I mean by that is you don't want the entire body to be stiff and active. we know that we need to push through the hands, keep arms straight, and very similar to that sensation of simply reaching up to ceiling with the arms, that's how you can achieve straight arms in this down dog, even though we have the hands on the floor. Take your awareness up your arms to the shoulder blades, past the shoulder blades, more to the back, the core. There's a little bit of engagement, but you're not over-activating. As for the legs, they're probably getting a bit of a stretch, but you don't want to over-activate the legs. Be as efficient as you can. Inhale, lower your hips into plank. Same thing counts. If you need to adjust the feet accordingly, if your stance was a bit short, you can adjust. But same thing in your plank. Surely we need to be active to maintain the shape, but activate where necessary and relax where possible. Exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, hips to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Oh, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. Inhale, lower hips to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, push back to chaturanga and all the way into down dog. So from that chaturanga, you want to push back into a downward facing dog. You can do that throughout the entire class when we do our vinyasa, or you can simply just do up dog and down dog. One more time, lower hips into plank. Don't over engage. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog or chaturanga into downward facing dog. Step your feet mat width apart and also as far back as you can, staying on the mat. Walk your hands forwards, keeping the palms on the mat still, maybe even fingertips not touching the mat. Then lower your hips into a long plank. Just like our normal plank. Activate where you have to. You'll find keeping arms straight and pushing out of your shoulders slightly would be an effective use of activation. And then slight bit of core activation as you gently draw navel to spine and pulling at the base of the spine to lift the lower pelvic floor. Take your hips back up on the exhale. Position normal down dog feet on the mat. As well as with the hands, bend into knees, look up. Inhale, feet in between hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, arms to ceiling. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend, head to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands on exhale, step or jump back. Lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, you move into down dog, whichever way you choose. Bending knees, look up. In breath, feet in between hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend knees, take arms up. Chair pose. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, bend knees, arms up. Utkatasana to Uttanasana on exhalation, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Planting your hands, step or jump back. Chaturanga. In breath, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to ceiling. Exhale, foot between hands. Angle back foot, arms up, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, foot between hands, pivot back foot, arms up. Warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. Exhale, hands down. Step it back. Plank to chaturanga. In breath, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Gripping the mat with all 10 fingers. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step foot in between hands. Place your back knee down, then get the top of the foot to rest on the floor. Now bring your hands onto the knee. Option of staying here, or option of straightening your back leg. Top of the foot resting on the floor. Exhale, hands come down. Keep the top of the back foot on the mat. Step the right foot back to join. Top of the foot down. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to plank and then to downward facing dog, but keeping the tops of the feet on the floor. If it gets too intense, obviously you'll roll over your toes. Now inhale, lower your hips into plank, tuck toes, take it back up to down dog. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale, position foot between hands. Back knee down, top of the back foot down. Hands to knee. Straighten the back leg if you can. Exhale, bring hands down, step the left foot back to join. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog or chaturanga to downward facing dog. Tops of the feet still on the mat. Lower your hips, tuck your toes, take it into a normal down dog. Bending into knees. Look up. Step or jump your feet behind your hands and squat down. We'll be doing a side crane or crow. So knees will first point to the right. Get your knees as close together as possible. Right tricep will push into the outside of your left knee. The left hand and arm will not touch the body. So we want to keep the elbow just to the outside of the rib cage. If you place the elbow into the rib cage, you're going to find that less strength is required. If you keep it apart, you'll find that it's more like a chaturanga. So get the position, get onto your toes, and then see if you can hold. We can even take it into a chaturanga from here, but you can always just step the feet back down onto the mat. If you want to shoot back, take your legs to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And bending knees, look up. You step or jump feet behind the hands. And we'll attempt the opposite side. So knees to the left, elbow to the outside of the leg. Hands to prayer, well, not hands to prayer, but down dog, hands on the mat. Shifting weight forwards, lifting your feet. Should you wish to jump back, you make your way to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step foot in between hands. Inhale, take both arms up and pistol grip with the hands. Reaching up and sink low into your front knee. One deep inhale. Exhale, as you bring your hands down, straighten your front leg. Take it into a nice forward bend. Get a slight bend in your front leg. Angle the back foot. Bring your right arm to the inside of the right leg with the leg still being slightly bent. Take the arm around the back. Left arm around, find your wrist. Start to open up and then start to straighten your front leg. Maybe you don't straighten all the way. That's perfectly fine. Bend into your knee. Release your bind. Step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, foot in between hands. Inhale, arms up, pistol grip. Sink low into the lunge. On an exhale, as you bring the hands down, straighten your front leg, keep your hips square. Slight bend in the front knee, angle your back foot, get the left arm to the inside of the leg, and then bend the arm. Take your right arm around, bind, twist, and then straighten your front leg out. Turn your gaze down to the mat, bend into the knee, release the bind, step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Bend your knees, look up, but then just jump your knees to the middle of the mat and make your way up. And do a very mild back bend, but we'll be holding it for a little while. So half camel, you get hands onto your sacrum, lift in your chest, and take an inhale to move into your half camel. So it's a slight back extension. Maybe you won't go as deep. I'm taking it very easy with this back extension today. You might want to stay in that shape. Think of it as lengthening in the abdomen. So just hold that position. Use your exhale to slowly come out of the position and make your way into child's pose. A little counter stretch. Now slowly making your way up. Make your way into a seated position. As you get to seated, flex your feet, grip hold onto the outsides of your feet. Maybe you need to walk your heels in like I just did. Get onto the sit bones. First step is to keep the ankles in line with the knees. Second option would be to straighten your legs, but push your feet away from your body. So it's almost as if you're pointing a little bit, and you keep your spine nice and long. Keep holding on to the outsides of the feet. Start to part your legs. Get your legs nice and wide. Maintain your balance. Let go of the feet and slowly bring the legs down. Point with your toes, left hand in front, right arm at the back. Keep length in your back. Lift your right heel off the floor. Exhale, bring the right heel down. Right hand in front, left hand at the back. Lift your left leg. Exhale, bring your left leg down. Flex both feet. Reach with your hands around the insides of the heels and grip hold of the heels. If you don't have the flexibility, you'll simply grip hold of the shins and stay up here. But when you do the forward bend, hinge in the hips, work your chest and chin forwards and find your grip. Legs nice and active, you pushing the heels into the floor. Inhale, make your way back up. And as you come up, bring your legs out in front. Flex and point with the heels. So maybe you want to move your feet off the yoga mat if your mat has a lot of grip. But just flex and point. Now we're going to be doing exactly this on our backs with the legs in the air. So you can lower down, take your legs up, flex and point. Move a little bit faster to sort of burn out the lower legs a little bit and the ankles. On the next movement, you'll point both feet, lower the left leg, get the heel close to the mat but not to touch. Reach with your hands, find your ankle and actively pull your right leg closer to your chest. The left foot is hovering. Let go of the right ankle, switch, grab hold of the left and hold. Exhale, let go. Bring both legs down onto the floor. You can bend knees, take knees into your chest. Simply bring it in, turning from side to side. Very relaxing. We'll be getting to a straight leg figure four, reclined figure four sort of pose. So step feet onto the mat, get the right ankle above the left knee, right hand through the gap, left hand around, interlace fingers by the back of the knee, straighten your left leg. Now use your right elbow to push your right knee out to the side and actively pull your legs closer to your body. Flex your left foot. Now we modify the posture by bending the straight leg, interlace fingers around the shin or outside of the knee and pull in a little bit more. Just to deepen the stretch in the glutes. Slowly bring it down. Switch legs. Left ankle above the right knee. Interlace your fingers around the back of the knee. Straighten your right leg. Flex. Actively pull. And use your left elbow to push your left knee out to the side. Bending your straight leg. Interlace fingers around the knee. Keeping both feet flexed, now just pull your knee a little bit closer to your chest. Slowly release, stepping both feet onto the mat. A bit of a seated spinal twist before we do recline spinal twist. Grab hold behind the backs of the knees. Make your way up into a seated position. Cross your legs into a normal upright seated pose. Left hand onto the right knee, opposite hand behind the back. Nice deep in-breath. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to center. Switch hands, deep inhale. Exhale, twist. We will bring it back to center on inhale and go a little bit deeper by getting the left knee to point to the front. Step the right foot over. Get your left arm over the knee. Find your ankle, opposite hand behind the back. Nice deep inhale. Get length, exhale, twist. You'll find that as you draw navel to spine, you tend to be able to go a little bit deeper. Inhale back to center. Switch legs. Right knee at the bottom. Step left foot over. The right arm to the outside. Find your ankle. Maybe you can't find the foot. And you just get the arm to the outside of the knee. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, bring it back to center. Release, and we will make our way back onto the mat for one last spinal twist. Bend your left knee to 90. Take the leg over to the right. Left arm to the left and turn your gaze to the left. Inhale, bring it back to center. Straighten your left leg, bend the right. Take your right leg over to the left as you turn your gaze in the opposite direction. This reclined spinal twisting can be very relaxing. Don't want to force it too much. You can bring it back to center. As you straighten your legs along with your arms. Close your eyes. For the first time in the practice, allow your breath to be natural. Scan your body, make sure you're not holding any tension anywhere. You might be surprised, you might be holding tension in the legs, the feet, the hands, shoulders. So relax everything and stay in this corpse pose for as long as you want.